Why would they want to approve more waivers? Wouldn't you just keep the standards and or raise them to keep getting quality military personnel? This is a really good question. The needs of each branch of the military determine the amount of waivers that branch is going to give out for specific things. I'll give you a couple for instances. So when I went on recruiting duty in 2009, waivers were getting approved a lot. Waivers for moral reasons or ethical reasons, such as like you had a felony charge, maybe a felony drug charge. They were writing waivers for those. They were granting waivers for those. Now, a few things were happening in 2009 that would produce more needs for the service. At that time, there was 2 simultaneous conflicts that were going on in the Middle East between Afghanistan and Iraq. And the Marine Corps was growing from 186,000 to 202,000. And I believe it was the National Defense Authorization Act of 2006, maybe 2007, that allowed the Marine Corps to grow from 186,000 to 202,000. So therefore, you got to put more bodies in the Marine Corps. So recruiters were working extra hard. And in order to do that, you have to expand your net. Now, the Enlistment Procurement Processing Manual has the standards, if you will, for every branch of the military and what individuals need to meet in order to join those branches of the military. And each branch of the military takes that manual and adds their own little things on top of what they're going to allow to be waivered and what they're not allowed going to be waivered. Now, from about 2007 to 2010, the Marine Corps was pretty wide open, in my experience as a recruiter in 2009, on what waivers they were going to allow in. But once the Marine Corps hit 202,000 Marines from 186,000 Marines, that window for waivers closed immediately. Like if I had a kid that had like 10 speeding tickets or parking tickets or 10 infractions, traffic infractions, I couldn't put him in the Marine Corps. There were just so many kids that I had to walk over to the other offices of the branches of the military and hand them over to those recruiters because they could work them. And lo and behold, 8, 7, 6 weeks later, you'd see private first class in the Army, same kid that wanted to join the Marine Corps, now in the Army. Now, I'm not saying anything about the Army. I'm just saying they just took them and we could not. Now, during this time frame that I was speaking of, I'm sure you've heard there was a recruiting crisis. And those individual branches needed to fill spaces, so they, based on what they needed, they opened up more opportunity, thus approving more waivers. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily like a thing of quality. Waivers are there. They're built into the system, and they're there for a reason. There's medical waivers, mental waivers, moral waivers, drug waivers, all these types of waivers that can be written and approved for individuals depending on the individual themselves. I hope that answers your question.